The New Galilee Carnival, it goes way back into the 50s and 60s, whenever it was a huge, great event for this area. And then we went probably 15, 16 years without having one. And then in 2015, we brought the carnival back into New Galilee, and we started New Galilee Community Foundation in 2012. This is our 10-year anniversary, and we've been running the carnival for about 7 years now.
Leading off this year's parade is a 2000 Polaris Ranger with a junior polio bike that has led the parade for years, being driven by your mayor, Mark Bennis. Coming next down Centennial is a 1966 Thunderbird, powered by a 428 CV engine, 18,000 miles on it. Everything's original, including the paint. Driven by New Galilee's own Steve Skolnick. Joining Steve in the Thunderbird tonight is Grand Marshal Patty Turconi. Up next in tonight's parade is a 1985 Chevy Monte Carlo, driven by New Galilee's own Dennis Krebs. Coming down now is a 2002 Mazda Miata, driven by Tara and Kylie Bennis from the New Galilee Community Foundation. Up next is a Ford F-450 retired truck from Big Beaver, driven by Homewood's Ridge Blair from Blair Services. Up next is Garrett Davenport from the AG race team. Garrett is 11 years old, has been driving this car for 4 years. He has won 2 series championships. From Eaton Valley, he's driving a junior sprint. Up next is a 1915 Model T pickup, driven by Mr. Dan Yoder. Up next is Nathan Matinik from Darlington, driving a Cormac Farmall tractor. Up next is a John Deere 530 from 1958, driven by Glenn Pusetti in honor of Kate and Molly Houston. Followed by another John Deere Model 430 from 1958, driven by Tom Blankowicz. This here is a 1953 John Deere 60, driven by Lou Liller of New Galilee. Come by is New Galilee Church of the Nazarene. Up next is Byrne Brothers Towing, part driven by Melissa Byrne of Elwood City. And here come the fire trucks. First pair of fire trucks we got is a 2020 Ford F-550, driven by Dave Villa and a 2009 Spartan Metro, both presented by the Big Beaver Borough Volunteer Fire Department. Right behind Big Beaver is a 1996 Pierce International and a 1971 American McFarland, driven respectively by Wendy Harker and Lou Little from the West Mayfield Volunteer Fire Department. Up next from White Township Volunteer Fire Department is a 1988 E1 engine driven by Jamie Hoskinson. Right behind them is a 1986 Ford chassis driven with a Pierce body, 1,000-gallon tank, by Ron Miskenzo of the Homewood Volunteer Fire Department. And coming up now is the Darlington Township Fire Department with a 2009 Pierce engine driven by Sean Rabb, a Ford F-350 Custom from 1991 from Jared Wethouse, a 2012 Ford F-350 driven by Emily Watterson, and a 1988 Ford LTL 9000 Tanker 18 driven by Lieutenant Chris Latterer, all from the Darlington Township Fire Department. Up next, driven by Dan Byrne from Conway, it is the rescue fire engine from the Conway Fire Department. Up now is a 2021 Pierce Enforcer, driven by Phil Grazer of the Patterson Township Volunteer Fire Company. Sound the Alarm is a 2003 Ford Econoline Lifeline ambulance from Northwestern EMS, followed by a 2012 GMC Horton ambulance from Northwestern EMS, driven respectively by Thomas Busser and Tracy McCoy. Ambulance? Only two, right? Coming down Centennial now, on foot, on horseback, and on wheel, it's Leroy's Troopers. Being represented by a variety of ages from young to adult from all the surrounding areas, and the horses themselves are a variety of breeds and disciplines. And closing out this year's parade from the Big Beaver Volunteer Fire Department, a 2011 GMC 3500 brush truck driven by Bob Adams from, once again, the Big Beaver Volunteer Fire Company.
Thank you all for joining us for the parade this year. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Let's hear it for Matt Durzik from WBVP up here doing the announcements for us tonight.
I kind of wish Tommy would have got a
Please
score on, man.
make your way into the fair. Check out the community center and the bingo. We got a lot of good food back there, good rides, some vendors. Go check it out.